All right, everybody, grab your pink drinks and your bendy spoons. It's time for a psychic spectacular. Welcome to another fantastic. I was going to try and insert something and then figured, no, wait, don't do that one. And then my brain was like, no, but we want to. And my other brain was like, no, you don't want to do that. And then I was like, wait, now I've taken up too much time. Welcome to a Battle Science podcast, a Pokemon Go PvP podcast. Pokemon, where we talk about Pokemon Go with the frame in mind about PvP and stuffs. I am one of your hosts, Steven, a.k.a. A Boy in the Woods, joined as always by Jesse, a.k.a. Rocket Admin J.
How's it going, everyone?
And the little known Twitch chatter. It's almost with I would say pretty consistently with us, if not always with us. Battle Ram. Hi, Battle Ram. I was there. It is the beginning of September. A little bit into September, a couple days into September, which means a handful of things. One, new month. Not necessarily new you. We're still really close. We're like really close to the end of the year. Like, take a deep breath, recognize that. Like, don't freak out. But like, tax season is real close, so make sure you've got your receipts and stuff. But also, less importantly than tax season, we have a new season of Pokemon Go. We've got some new Pokemon. Two new Pokemon, technically? Can you give me 1 second? Let me verify at least two Pokemon.
It's only one currently.
Yep, yeah, its evolution is not available currently. So, technically one new Pokemon in the Pokedex for what they're calling it the Season of Light. Cosmog. You can't evolve it. I can't dump rare candy. Well, I mean, I can dump rare candy into it, but that's not going to allow me to evolve it. I wish. I could dump all. Let me just take a look. Make people some jealous here. 651 rare candy. I could just, throw all 651 rare candy into Cosmog, and what is it maxed out? I'm just going off the rails here. New season, new Pokemon spawning, new event stuff. Holy cow, has it really been that long since I caught it? There's a lot of stuff I gotta transfer. Like a lot of stuff I gotta transfer. Yeah, potentially November. Yeah, that's been a lot.
Even though we are in the beginning of fall, end of summer, one thing that does stay with us throughout all the seasons is our awesome Patreon supporters.
If I maxed out Cosmog, it would still be under Little League.
Yep.
Little Cup. 400, and this is not a perfect, but 454 CP. Gross. As Jesse was alluding to, the wonderful people over at the wonderful people that have gone over to patreon.com/battlescience and helped support us and keep the podcast up on podcast services around the globe. The wonderful patrons over at patreon.com/battlescience. Patreon.com/battlescience. Sometimes I think I might be speaking too fast for people, so Jim is him. I mean, you don't have to show off. with 918 rare candy. Speaking of Jim is Him, the wonderful people over at patreon.com/battlescience that have backed us at the $5 tier or higher to get their name read at the beginning of every Battle Science podcast, both the Battle Science podcast and the Battle Science After Dark podcast, which is a Patreon exclusive. Those wonderful people are as follows: Dolphin93, James, a.k.a. Jimmy Bo, a.k.a. Jim is Him, Evo Stevo, Winston the Champ, Jamar, and Dan P, a.k.a. Sorov. Thank you to our wonderful Patreons. You can join them by going over to patreon.com/battlescience and backing at the $5 tier and getting your name read, or you can back us at $1 or more and get access to the wonderful Patreon exclusive Battle Science After Dark podcast, which we did recently for August. Yes, that is the month that comes before September. And we talked about the Season of Light and Go Fest sort of feelings. Sorry, I got a text from somebody. Gonna have to ignore that for now. As well as the Battle Science podcast a couple days early. Battle Science podcast goes live for patrons the day after we record it, and goes live for everyone else 3 days. Record on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, technically 3 days. 3-ish, although, well, 2.5, because we record it in the evening on Tuesdays, and then it goes up a butt early, butt crack of dawn on Friday mornings. So, me neither, Jimmy. Jim is Him. Me neither. Righty. So, Season of Light, we have some stuff and some things and some things and stuffs to talk about. Little, I guess, Easter egg that confirmed a lot at the end of the GoFest finale event was the spawning of Solrock and Lunatone.
Yep.
All over the place. Like a Solrock and Lunatone community day for I think about 2 hours, and then more average spawns came back with Solrock and Lunatone for the last like 2 days. So we kind of wondered that the legendary box legendaries from Sun and Moon, Sol Galeo and Lunala, were coming.
Yep.
In one form or another. I gotta get that in. Can't forget. The Season of Light focuses on Sol Galeo and Lunala as legendaries are atypical in the fact that they have a pre-evolution. Cosmog, which evolves into Cosmoem. Moem, I think, right?
That sounds right.
And then branch evolution between Lunala and Sol Galeo. I don't exactly know how that evolution functions. I'm pretty sure it's story locked within.
In the Sun and Moon games, you had to go to the altar of the sun or the altar of the moon.
Which, by the way, I will be trying to play some Pokemon Ultra Sun during the season on stream so that we can get some story nuggets as we go through. So, I don't know, twitch.tv/battlescience. At some point, I don't have any dates set, so.
No schedules?
No, not yet. I'll figure something out this weekend.
Just turn those notifications on, and whenever we go on, you'll get that little ding.
Yeah. You have to follow us. You don't have to
Subscribe.
You don't have to subscribe or send us bits or anything. Don't worry about that. Twitch takes enough money. Twitch takes enough of that. You don't have to worry about it. Just hit that follow button. Yes. So similar to how last season was focusing on the Ultra Beasts with the season of, I forgot what its name was. Season of Go. Yeah. The season of Go festivals.
Season of No Touch Grass.
Yeah. A whole lot of touching grass. By the way, Shaman, the grass.
Yeah, that's literally the joke.
The grass noogie Pokemon. Yeah.
That's the joke.
Yeah. The grass hedgehog Pokemon. Gotta go fast.
The gratitude Pokemon.
Gotta go grass.
Which you found a hundo of.
Yes, my Seattle Go Fest
Sky Shaman.
Sky Shaman was a hundo. So that was exciting to catch 5-6 weeks later.
Yeah.
Just in my research being like, yeah, I'll get to it at some point. Catch it and be like, oh, look at that. So I don't think I got any hundos from Seattle Go Fest or anything super fantastic crazy. I did end up getting from the Go Fest finale event the rank 1 Metacham, which I already had a rank 2. So cool. More XL candy and dust spent if I feel like it. The hundo Pansage, which, who cares?
Name it Wukong.
Nah, I could. You want to redeem some channel points for that, Jesse?
Sure, just let me go here to the infinite amount that I have.
Yeah, it's true. And then I got the hundo Shaman after the fact. So, from Seattle Go Fest. So, that's cool. Don't know what I'll use that for. Actually, because I don't know where it's going to max out, and its performance is kind of all over the place. So, it is flying grass, so that's a cool type, but, you know.
But Season of Light.
Yes. There's Safari Zone events, which are cool, but they're all in the APAC regions, so yay us. if you still want the paid events to never end, go to a Safari Zone.
Do you think we see a Safari Zone come here to the States?
I mean,
winter.
it has before. I mean, it's come to the States before. In the winter, I mean, climate change. I am no climate change denier. It's kind of gonna get kind of gross. Summer's been pretty tough as it is.
Do you think they would do one in California?
Maybe. I don't. Have they done a California event before?
No.
I mean, maybe. I think it all honestly depends on if they can get a park zone area big enough. That's the.
I'm no Californian, so I don't know.
Yeah, as far as getting it's all about getting a venue. Finding a venue that they want to do something in, having an event that they want to do, and then finding a venue for it. That's the big thing.
The radio show I listen to, they do make a very good observation about people from California.
Uh-huh.
And I need Californians to tell me if this is true.
Okay.
When you meet people, the first thing you do is you tell people you're from California.
Oh, like when they're outside of California, they have to tell other people they're from California?
It doesn't matter, even if you're from California.
Oh. That seems odd. The only thing I can think of is the Californians SNL skit, which is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, because there's a particular way that Californians give directions, and it is very funny. Yeah, so it's Season of Light. Stuff and things happen, or are happening, I guess. We just started, and we'll get into it here in a little bit, the Psychic Spectacular event. To kick it off, we had a quick little Inkay day. So dark Pokemon were spawning, and Inkay was in research, which is cool because it's not been around often,
No,
if ever.
It's been sprinkled about.
As
you find one every once in a while.
You find one every once in a while. I haven't seen any.
Oh.
So Psychic Dark, mixed results in PvP. It's not the bulkiest, but it also has a very unique typing as well as a pretty unique moveset.
It's a Sylph Cup or a niche meta Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can run it in an open great league. You just got to build the team around it. You gotta find a core that's
running
gonna work.
Superpower as a charge, Psycho Cut, Superpower, Foul Play.
Mm-hmm. So a little bit of everything from your Psychic Dark fighting type trio.
I think it's a lot like one of those. It's like a Mammal Swine, where it's really good typing, and it's got decent moves. It's just weak to a lot of common things. Because with Malamar, that's 4 times weakness to Bug, neutral to Fighting, it's weak to Fairy, and what's the other one I'm thinking of? It's still weak. It's neutral to Ghost. but still also weak to dark.
Yes. Yeah, and you see a lot of dark. Get to that 551 here if you haven't already. I'm doing a quick check on it. Low attack, high defense, and
I don't get that choice. My Go Plus is doing it.
not as good. Not as good as I would have hoped. That's a bummer.
It ran on me.
Woof. That's fine. It's not good. Or I mean, it could be better. Let's see here. Upcoming events that we have no idea the details of. Test Your Metal between September 16th and September 21st. Fashion Week 2022, September 27th through October 3rd. So expect hats. That's all I got for you. Expect some hats. Put on those caps and prepare for Pokemon not to be able to evolve. Because that happens too often. Absol with glasses. That has been data mined. That's all I'm willing to tell you.
Are they slowly copying Pokemon Unite?
I don't think so.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you've seen some of the costumes they've given some of the Pokemon in Pokemon Unite.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are really good.
Yes, but I think they have like a dedicated team. They most certainly have a dedicated team running for that, and I don't know if the Go team has that kind of resources. So, yeah. I don't think we're seeing full outfits for that kind of thing. Oh, by the way, we're in the news roundup. Forgot to hit the button. I am a complete and total dunce. New spawns in different regions. If you don't have Burmy, they're spawning a lot. Like a lot. Pinab those suckers. Get your candy. Walk a Burmy too. If you don't have a trash Burmy for a Great League, now is the time to go search for one. Northern and some southern hemisphere spawns have changed around a bit. Nothing super crazy, I think, as far as looking out for. Scythers in the northern hemisphere just had a mega released. Southern hemisphere, Chansey moves down to the southern hemisphere, which means the northern hemisphere won't see it unless we're in an event. Bless you. And Bagon is in the southern hemisphere. It will get a mega at some point. Maybe within this season, maybe not. We don't really know time-wise. So
Right.
I don't remember when the Dragon event usually is. I feel like it'll be in the new year.
That sounds about right.
I think that's
first quarter there.
So as far as if we're getting a new dragon type mega, we might have to wait a little bit, so this might not move the needle too much. And then Cosmog hat and Cosmog top have been added to the clothing for this season. Pretty all right, Specifically, there is a Deoxys raid day on September 11th. That is Sunday, from 2 to 5. Let me double check that. 2 to 5 local time. All of the forms of Deoxys, so attack, defense, speed, and normal Deoxyses are in raids. Shinies are available. 5 free raid passes. Do some Deoxys raids.
If you are going for PvP defense Deoxys, you need a minimum of 5 with recommended counters. When I say recommended, I mean the auto gens. You don't actually pick your team. You just run what it suggests. If you're going to pick hard counters, then you could probably do it with 3.
3 raiders.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and watch out what it auto recommends, because mine recommended. What did it recommend the other day?
It's like a 1200 Charizard.
Yeah, that's right. It was like no, we weren't doing. We were doing a mega, weren't we?
No.
We were doing a mega Ampharos.
That's right. Yeah.
And it recommended a 250 CP Charizard. Like with Dragon Breath. So like good for it. It was doing super effective against a Mega Ampharos, but like look out. That's not ideal. Build a
And that's
counter
with
team.
Steven making sure he had stuff healed, so it wasn't the fact that he had dead things.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's probably like, you should be able to kill this by the time you get to this one.
Oh, cool. So then, Battle Ram, help me out here. This is going to sound out of context, for sure, on the podcast itself. But does that mean the TCG doesn't require you to build up points at locals? You can just go to a regional event and participate? Because that sounds cool. Also makes sense because that's what Pokemon Go has been doing. Don't forget to hydrate. Oh, cool. Okay, so you don't have to worry about going through locals. Nice. Alrighty, what other little tiny events are going on? We don't know. Yet. We don't know yet. That should be most of what's going on in September. We do have a community day, September 18th, I believe. No known Pokemon yet. We don't know. I don't know what to say. It's been 2.5 weeks since community day. Normally we get an announcement like the Monday after.
That or the miners find it.
Yeah, stickers or something. We get anything. We haven't gotten anything. So either this is the coolest community day ever, or oops, we just forgot and community day doesn't happen or something. I don't know.
I wonder if it's something on the back end. There, a couple of things go through my mind. My first thought is, with everything going on right now as of this recording, they are getting a lot of flack. Is flack the right word?
Yeah.
From the community being upset with some of the most recent decisions as far as, and this is an observational statement, not my opinion. People are upset with the fact that they're not getting a dev diary.
Mm-hmm.
People are not fans of what the boxes are right now.
Mm.
People are upset that we're still having issues with things like when the new raid boss is coming out, that the shiny isn't turned on.
Yep.
And they're doing their best, sure, to make up for that. But at this point, people just need to realize these things happen, and it is unfortunate.
It's pretty darn consistent at this point, yeah.
So when it comes to why we haven't heard about it yet, one of the things we've heard on social networking is they don't have the people right now. They are really desperate for work.
Well,
workers.
They're trying to hire people. The instance I saw was from Kelsey, the
community
manager for Pokemon Go.
Was this on their personal Twitter?
Yes.
Okay.
Did say that they are trying to hire another community person. They are in charge. Kelsey is in charge of trying to facilitate the hiring of an additional community person, who would then be working on dev diary amongst other things. Within the community, I mean, I imagine you're hiring someone for the community role, a community role, not necessarily for, oh hey, work on the functionality of the turning the shinies on for a raid, or what items make the most sense at a coin price point in each box.
Right.
So those are other sections within the development of the game that may be encountering the same issue as far as they just don't have the manpower.
So that might be another reason why we haven't heard the announcement for community yet. So
Potentially. The announcement itself could just be the fact of they're trying to handle a lot.
Right.
On the community aspect of it. So.
The other thought I have is this something they're going to introduce that's going to throw the brand new meta they just introduced with the most recent season into an imbalance because they haven't. They go, For example, let's say Chespin is going to be the Community Day Pokemon. How much does that getting Frenzy Plant affect the meta? Or have they had the time to test that? Because we did just get a big meta shakeup, and we know that they don't want to put stuff out, especially with now how serious their competitive seasons are getting, without playtesting, or we could have another instance of, I don't think Chespin will be a Walrein.
I don't think Walrein was... Walrein didn't make the game unplayable.
It didn't make the game unplayable, but the
skewed
meta
it.
revolved around it.
The meta revolved around it, which I think we've seen in the past with things with
for
very
sure.
powerful with counter.
Right.
Which is why a lot of people... We'll get to the meta changes here in a little bit. I think is one of the reasons. There was a handful of people that were saying... there was a handful of people that were saying that counter needed to be nerfed. As I've said before,
Counter is the basis.
Counter is the bedrock on which Pokemon Go PvP is formed. If it is changed, we see an entire shakeup that I think is potentially detrimental to the entire... I mean, potentially. Realistically, any change is potentially detrimental to the entire game. But,
and from where Jim is coming, no?
I'm gonna hold off on that. Let's.
And then my third thought is it something that's going to basically fan the flames of all the stuff that's going on right now?
Will it be Zubat? Will everyone...
I think Zubat will be October.
Zubat makes sense for October. Let me pull up the loading screen
graphic.
Yes.
Because the thought is everyone's like, it needs to be Litwick. It should be Litwick. And that's what we were, I was on that train last year. But their new business model seems to be take the thing that everybody wants, put it in raids or put it in eggs. That way people are spending money to get it. And then we release it, the nice content at a later year.
So spending money is one way to look at it. The other thing, the other thing to look at it is it's the 3 pillars of exploration,
right?
Whatever. You put it in eggs, so people have to walk and explore. You put it in raids, so people have to go out.
Supposedly.
The problem is your two primary methods of quote unquote exploration and adventure are tied to have pay to win or pay to benefit more, which
correct.
Realistically, it's all about perspective as far as if you think it's as bad as it is.
So in the off chance that, like here in the graphic, if you're watching the video version, or anytime you load your game.
No, I'm not loading a game. This is a screenshot. I'm not stuck loading halfway through.
So this is the new seasonal background that we got once the season started.
The seasonal loading screen. So at the very top, obscuring the moon, we have Zubat and Golbat. The one thing actually I'm just thinking about is having Zubat and Golbat over the moon might be referencing Lunala.
Yeah, no, it is.
So
that's for sure.
That's cool. That's humorous. Or humorous. Good reference. Do we see a Zubat Community Day? It's a 3-tier. The shiny's been out. No one's going to want it. No one's going to want it except for me. Just me. Me. The season's about me. Season of Steven, let's go. Let's go. Vulpix is back in spawns. Zubat Community Day, it's me. Season of Steven is here.
You all play in it.
Niantic gets free hugs from me. Maybe some cookies if it's not too hot to kick my oven on.
So, but they also do tease one of the new other Ultra Beasts.
Guzzlord. I don't know.
Dark Dragon.
Dark Dragon, which is, oh my goodness.
Think of it like a mythic beast of Azu, but with that typing.
Oh, it's
or Ultra Beast.
It's got me bothered. Yeah. What did you say? Dark Dragon?
Yeah, it's the fat cousin to Zweilius.
Hey, you know that community day we did last season?
The birds are back.
The birds are back. Take that. Take that. I actually don't know stat wise and moveset wise if it's any better.
We looked at it a while back. It's kind of It really depends on what they give it.
Absolutely. Does it have Snarl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Snarm and Charl.
It has Snarm and Charl? Oh, okay. Well, at least it has Snarl.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that...
It has Bite. It has Crunch. It has Dragon Breath. It has Dragon Claw.
that's the one thing Wilius or Hydreigon doesn't have. Because Hydreigon just has, I think it's Tackle. It's like Tackle and Dragon Breath.
Okay.
That's the only, or like Shadow Sneak or something. It has a really bad like dark or normal type move.
Yeah.
As a fast move, and then it has Dragon Breath, which is still good,
Yeah.
but like Snarl and what did it get? Not Beat Down or something.
Brutal Swing.
Brutal Swing. Between that Brutal Swing and like whatever, like, whew, that would be good. But
And then, of course, other ones on the teaser are Litwick, Trevenant, Duskull, and
Duskull, Shuppet,
Shuppet.
Drifloon.
Shuppet is a 2-tier. Mischievous is a 2-tier. Duskull was the one I'm thinking of. We had that last year.
Mischievous gets a Mega though, doesn't it?
Mischievous? No, it's Shuppet.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Bayonet gets a Mega.
Shuppet, Bayonet. Bayonet gets a Mega. I mean, yeah, so there's 2 3-tiers here. Or no, 3 3-tiers here. Zubat, Duskull, and Litwick.
They did confirm that the miners did find both Mega Bayonet and Mega Aggron.
Yes.
Which could be a community day at some point too.
I mean, the only thing is we've seen 2 tiers get a community day.
Correct.
You know what? The one community day that you and I haven't mentioned here that we could get because it's a 2-tier, we can get a Trevenant. We can get a Phantom. We can get a Phantom community day. Now, here's the interesting thing: when you trade it, the evolution cost goes away.
Free, yeah.
It has a really cool shiny, like a really cool shiny.
If you haven't looked at
and
it,
it's
check it out.
meta as heck.
Yeah.
So that could be the one thing. That could be the sort of that could be the play. Is we could get a Trev. We can get a Phantom community day for October, and it could be real good.
So,
only downside is what September's going to be.
In between or around the front of Duskull is another little hidden Easter egg if you can see it.
Is it Cosmo?
Nope.
Is there something there in the nebula?
Yep.
What is it?
Poipole.
Poipole? I don't know what that is.
It's one of the few Ultra Beasts that evolves.
You send me an image of it because
Yeah.
I don't know my Ultra Beasts very well. Another reason I'm playing Ultra Sun. There's a lot of little bits and tiddlywinks. That's not the right phrase, but you get what I mean. A lot of stuff that I just don't know about Alola. So, and then maybe at some point I go back through because we haven't had like a Kalos featured event. I did not play a whole lot on the fairy introduction and stuff. So, yeah. Jimison, we will get to I'm gonna grab your text here. Because it is definitely something that I want to talk about, but it's that's like a whole podcast in and of itself. So give me a second, I'll put it in a notepad.
We're not ignoring you. It's just
that's a whole like oh my yeah. That's a can of worms for its own podcast, pretty much. Yeah, do you have the
I sent it to you.
Oh, that's an Ultra Beast?
Yep.
Oh, interesting. How do you get that there? I don't see it. So apparently Jesse sees this Pokemon, Poipole, which it might be a B-Sad pod, it might be not a B-Sad pod. To be honest, I don't know. There's that. And there's Poipole. I don't see in the star constellation. I don't
It's right there,
get it.
between Duskull and Nebby.
I see a weird.
That's it right there.
I don't know. Maybe I don't quite see it.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I see something weird, sure, but I don't know if I see Poiple. So, maybe it's evolution?
Oh, no, it's definitely not its evolution.
Uh,
Definitely not.
where?
Should be at the top of the page there.
Nagandel? Naganadel? I'm trying. I'm sorry. Which is Eternatus, but first. You're welcome for that image. Kind of looks like Eternatus, but first. I mean, it's a poison dragon, so yeah, that's pretty much beta Eternatus, isn't it? Because it's got a gun. I'm a dragon poison with a gun. Eternatus shows up. I'm a dragon poison that's a cannon. All right, calm down, guys. We already have a dragon poison that's a fish. Dragalge.
Yeah, it's basically a better Dragalge.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, dragon poison, Dragalge. It's really cool. Next generation. Do you want a better Dragalge? I didn't ask for this, but okay. Hey, do you want a better Dragalge? I didn't ask for this one either, but okay. Grabs Eternity.
And then they put out Melmetal. Hey, guys.
Steal. Anti all of that.
Yeah, basically.
It's ADAS. Anti-dat. Fill with your choice S word. I can't say it on the podcast.
Spoons.
Anti-dat spoons.
Speaking of spoons, we got a new Mega.
No, we did get a new Mega. Calm down, bud. We're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, season stuff, things, community days. We don't know. Current event, Psychic Spectacular. Did you know that Abra has a sick beard? Like, holy cow, bro! Like, how much?
You know, when I first saw this image come up,
Uh-huh.
it reminded me of Kyle's character from my D&D campaign,
Uh-huh.
the druid that he was playing.
Uh,
I was like, that's kind of druid I see his character having.
he's got like
Or
there's
the
a
beard.
that's a lot of product. Like, there's probably a lot of beard oil. It's kind of insane. Like, calm down, bud.
When he uses his powers, does every little strand come out?
I have no idea. I haven't megaed one, so I don't know what its idle animation looks like. It's the second best psychic attacker in the game behind Shadow Mewtwo.
Correct.
It will become the third behind
Shadow and Mega.
Shadow and Mega Mewtwo,
Wouldn't that make
respectively.
it the fourth?
No, because
Because
one
Mega
of
Mewtwo X is still going to be stronger.
maybe I don't know. I mean, because one of them is psychic fighting,
That's X.
so I don't know if technically that's still a better psychic. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, but then it's
Because
I
it
don't
gets counter.
care. I don't care. I don't know. Does it get counter? Please, for the love of all that is holy, don't give Mewtwo counter.
Mewtwo is the meta.
Christ. It's already
I
gross.
can tell you haven't played Masters. Mewtwo is the meta.
Yeah, I don't want to do that to myself. Yeah, Psychic Spectacular, Mega
Alakazam.
Alakazam. Oh my god, you're right. Jim is him. I hate that. It's doing the Gendo pose but with its feet. I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it. Mega Alakazam. If you evolve Kadabra into Alakazam, you'll get Psychic, which puts it at the top as far as the Psychic type attackers. Remember, it is frailer than a box of rocks. Not how the phrasing goes, but you know. I imagine Alakazam's pretty intelligent, but it's pretty darn frail. So it won't last.
It's a good if you need to use a raid pass, since we're getting 2 free ones here at the season.
Yeah.
It's a good one to try and get 3 people together for, because then you can turn around and Mega Evolve it and use it for catching more Psychic Spectacular Pokemon. Another thing, Trainer Tips just put out in his most recent video, catch all the Abra you can, then trade them and reroll them with your best friends, potentially get the hundo, and have a free evolve.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Yes, do that. Also, it had a community day at the beginning of COVID, so you might have something reasonable already stashed away, and it's been around for a while. So, I can't get this out of my head. I'm sorry, tangent-ish. Mega Alakazam's bones are so brittle that you could snap them in half like a angry batter after a bad call from Angel Hernandez. That is a baseball reference, and a terrible joke at that. So you're welcome. Yeah, it's a deep cut. Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, hey, by the way, Alakazam got counter and what was it?
Fire Punch?
Fire Punch. What? For its community day, so your Mega could have that. I guess. It doesn't help. Maybe.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. In the main series games, Alakazam performed much better as utility and support.
Yeah, it as a special attacker with other stuff, but we don't have that. So we don't have a distinction between special and physical.
If they introduced things like light screen or reflect into the game, made it something like what Obstruct does, that wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, if we saw a couple more adjustments, I mean, maybe. I mean, but you also have to look at Wobbuffet might get gross then too.
Yeah, Wobbuffet would be stupid.
Yeah. Speaking of Wobbuffet, you can find it in raids alongside Alolan Raichu, Girafarig, and Oranguru in 3-star raids. 1-star raids are Unknown E, Unknown P, and Unknown S. ESP, I don't know why they did EPS, other than that's alphabetical order. But ESP, as in Esper, which is also in 1-star raids. Jim is him. I like the autocorrect there. That's fantastic. Potentially autocorrect. That is great. And then in 5-star raids, Deoxys, and Deoxys. Mega raids, Mega Alakazam. Spawning in the wild for the Psychic Spectacular. Abra, Slowpoke, Drowsy, Natu, Ralts, Spoink, Munna, Woobat, Gothita, Solosis, Elgyem. And if you're lucky, you might encounter the following: Kadabra and Kirlia.
I pulled into your driveway and there was 2 Kirlia.
You should have told me. I would have walked outside and touched grass. Just tell me they weren't good. Were they good?
If they were good, I would have told you.
Okay, cool. Things to look out for here. Slowpoke for Mega. Slowbro, as well as...
Slowpoke Candy is definitely one to stack up on.
Because of the Galarian forms as well. So
and the fact that you can run Slowpoke XL in Great League.
You can run Slowpoke XL. You can run... It's kind of all over the place, really. So
yeah. Both Galarian forms are viable. Even regular Slowbro does have some play, plus the Mega for it is an option. So I think Slowpoke and Abra are definitely ones to go after.
I mean, if you're looking for the Psychic type attacker, sure, Abra, but within
also
Great
for
League...
XP.
Is it boosted XP?
No, free Evos after trades.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you're farming for... Drowsy for Hypno.
True.
For sure. Hypno is, I think, returning now that Walreign's gotten a little bit nerfed, is what you were saying?
It's more so the rise of the Poison Fang and Nidoqueen, and Hypno just has good utility.
And then Ralts.
The Ralts line, both also having Megas down the line eventually. Both Mega Gallade and Mega Gardevoir.
Yes, which I said I was thinking there was going to be a Ralts Community Day. We're getting Ralts Spotlight next week, so maybe...
At some point.
I don't know.
It has a Mega. It's still a fairly relevant Pokemon as far as general raid attacking with Gardevoir for a Fairy type.
I'm going to pass on the rest of them. It's a bummer that Orangaroos in 3-star raids where you're not going to get quite the same ideal PvP
I mean, if you're
IVs.
someone that has to do a raid and you're by yourself, honestly, a Alolan Raichu's not a bad shiny to go after.
Alolan Raichu's not a bad shiny to go after. Don't try to do Wobbuffet. Good luck. You won't. You can't solo it.
If it has Splash, you'll have a better time.
You'll have a better time, but it's still going to be a slog, and I don't know if you can solo it technically.
I think Shuckle's the only one you can't solo, but I think with Megas now that's changed.
Okay. And Oranguru, again, I wish it was not in raids. You can always
They're
trade.
still around, though.
This season?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I haven't seen one yet, so I don't think I've seen one yet. Deoxys, hey, by the way, 7K eggs are probably the smallest pool we've seen in a very long time. Smoochum, Wineout, and Chingling, which is cool, I guess.
I
Also,
mean, of those, the only thing I think is beneficial is the Why Not with the candy.
yes,
Why Not
extra
has
XL
been a
candy.
monster in little cups.
Mm-hmm. And if you're looking to max out a Wobbuffet for Great League, you need the XL candy. So
I guess you could try to do the raids too if you really wanted to.
Yeah, I think you get more. I mean, it's
Definitely
more, work,
more from hatching.
more from hatching, but it is more work as far as you do have to walk around. And it's a chance rather than guaranteed.
Correct.
Field research task encounters: Baltoy, Chimecho, Elgym, and if you're lucky, you might encounter the following: Hypno. Is the dog over there?
He's upstairs with Mom.
Weird. Chimecho, 1,000 dust per catch. So get them and don't catch them.
Put them in your research stack.
Yep. Make sure you don't already have 100. And stack those.
Save them for when we get the inevitable. This Pokemon is bad for Community Day, aka Zubat. So here's 3 times catch dust.
Yep. That may or may not stack with a star piece and field research, because that's the case with Obstagoon, I think, if I remember correctly. Yes, do the Chimecho. It doesn't. I mean,
The
it has
Chimecho
some,
is 5 curveball throws in a row.
yes, which is awkward but doable. Chimecho also within Great League is kind of odd. I want to say it's Confusion, Shadow Ball, something.
It's extra sensory. It didn't have confusion.
Oh.
Extra sensory, Psyshock, and then Shadow Ball.
Somebody way back in the day.
That was me. It was in one of the early self metas.
A content creator before you was talking
It was
about,
me.
It was me, Austin. Was talking about Chimecho being actually pretty reasonable
At the time.
At the time, back in the day. It's got Energy Ball. So you've got Shadow Ball, Energy Ball, and Psyshock, amongst other things. Chimecho's interesting moveset. Somewhat kind of bulky. If it got a better fast move, we might see a very interesting psychic type come into the scene. But yeah. Grab some. Times research focusing on curveball throws will be available throughout the event. You will get multiple encounters with Elgym. By the way, Elgym's shiny is released. Blink and you'll miss it. So
Literally, because it's only its eyes.
Be careful out there. Speaking of which, I will be getting my last 2 Elgym research here. Not shiny on that one. Curveball throw. We'll get into that here. Wow, I'm kind of going out of order here, aren't I? Go Battle League Season of Light. The Psychic Cup will start tomorrow, Wednesday. Pokemon must be at or below 1500 CP to enter, and only Psychic type Pokemon will be eligible. The following Pokemon will not be allowed: Mew. Just Mew. You can't use Mew unless they forget to turn it off.
Do we want to put money bet on that?
No, it's not worth it. I'll just shake my head if it does happen. No shiny Elgym for my research.
So for those that aren't aware, Mew's not allowed because Shadow Claw.
Shadow Claw and all of the other movesets it has.
Yeah, but it's really just Shadow Claw Flame Charge.
Yep.
You
that's
just
gross.
ramp.
It is gross. Don't do it. Or you can't. We'll talk about the Psychic Cup here in a little bit. Oh my gosh, 15, 14, 15 LGM. It's not even worth keeping, I don't think.
Nope.
That's what a shame. What a shame. Oh, by the way, with the new season, we had a Season of Light update for Pokemon Go GBL, and we've got metas, so we're gonna talk about some of that stuff. October 1st, Go Battle Day Guzma. You get Guzma stuff, Force Time Stardust from Win Rewards, 100 battles as usual. It's not a full weekend; it's just one singular day. So
That's October 4th?
October 1st.
First, okay.
First.
First.
Timed research. Focus on battling will be available for the whole day. Complete to the research to earn XP, rare candy, a watch and bracelet for your avatar inspired by Guzma, and an elite charge TM. You will get a part of the Guzma outfit, whereas the rest of the Guzma outfit you will have to get to high ranks. Like high ranks.
The top ranks within GBL.
Oh, by the way, that the Go Battle Day Guzma Master League and Master Premier Classic will be the only available active leagues. I want to put my head in a fish pond because that sounds like a more entertaining and valuable experience than putting myself through Master League.
Jeez.
Whole goldfish in my mouth. Go Battle Day Miltank, Sunday, November 6th from the entire day. Your local time. A Go Battle Day featuring Miltank, the milk cow Pokemon. I'd be scared if there was a soda cow Pokemon. Yes, Battle Ram. The lyrics, it's is it System of a Down?
I don't know.
I think it's System of a Down. I push my fingers into my eyes. It's the only thing that slowly stops the ache. If the pain goes on, I'm not going to make it. Slipknot, thank you. Started with an S. Miltank. For Miltank, Go Battle Day Miltank, available from 11 to 2, so community day hours. During Go Battle Day, that happens the entire day, so weird. Your local time, 11 to 2, Miltank will be guaranteed to appear as a reward encounter. In each set, the first win reward from the basic track will be a reward encounter. The second through fifth win rewards will remain unchanged. All win rewards from the premium track will be reward encounters. So if you use a battle pass, you will get 5 Miltank rewards if you win all 5. You have an increased chance of encountering shiny Miltank. Yeah, the blue cow. Timed research, XP, rare candy, Miltank encounter, and elite charge TM. So you can get 2 elite charge
I
TMs.
was going to say, that's 2 free elite charge TMs this
Yep.
season just for playing some GBL.
Timed research. I imagine it requires wins too. So yes. Active leagues for that day will be Ultra League and the Willpower Cup. No idea what the Willpower Cup is. Unless they explain it down below, and I just haven't read that yet. So, might be awkward. Let's scroll down. Willpower, Psychic, Willpower Cup. Pokemon must be at or below 1500 CP to enter. Only fighting, Psychic, and Dark type Pokemon will be eligible. Gardevoir will not be allowed.
One more time the types.
Fighting, Psychic, and Dark type Pokemon will be eligible.
So the other Trinity.
Yes, the non-elemental Trinity and Gardevoir is not allowed
Because it reverses that circle.
Yes, and by the
There's
way,
a couple other things that do too.
Willpower Cup, but you can't use the Miltank you catch.
No.
So weird.
You know
I
what
guess,
sounds
maybe?
really fun for that cup right now?
What?
Charm Lipard.
Heh.
Charm Shadow Lipard.
Oh. Get ready. There's probably some weird stuff. We'll cover it in a future episode. I imagine when we get closer to November. That sounds honestly, it sounds really gross. I don't want to.
Drapion Skunk Tank, obviously going to be good because there's no ground.
Yes.
Beats neutral to the fairies, neutral to the fighting.
No, there will be ground.
What?
Claydol. Hey, by the way, they're poison types.
Ooh, Golurk.
Ooh. No.
No, that's Ghost. You're
Yeah.
right.
So Claydol might be
Crocodile.
Oh, interesting.
But that's week 2 to the 3 types, so.
That's true. That's true. No, well, ground dark?
Dark is still weak to the fighting and fairy.
No, it's psychic. Fighting, psychic, and dark.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
fairy.
Umbreon's going to be a staple because it's just that bulky. Metacham will be allowed.
So your darks are going to be a lot more efficient there. Sableye.
Ichu doesn't have charm, does it?
Sableye.
True. Yeah, Sableye's
It's
also
going to be
bulky.
a Metacham Sableye meta.
Painful. Unless they ban something else. Is there another fairy or
Psychic or something that's pseudo fairy?
yeah.
Ozzy wouldn't be allowed.
No.
Liper's the only dark type that immediately comes to my mind.
Starts
for
having charm, but it's so glassy. But take that, Sableye.
Yeah.
Honchkrow interesting.
Yeah.
Galarian Moltres, but don't do that.
Yeah, they haven't said any
Galarian
of those are banned.
Zapdos, but also don't do that. Well, actually, that might be interesting.
You said fighting, right?
Yeah.
Buzzwole.
I hate it. Why? Yeah, Willpower Cup's probably going to be kind of gross. So, look forward to
Willpower Cup. How much can you endure?
look forward to that, I guess. Oh, by the way, at the end of the season, Catch Cup Season of Light Edition, Pokemon must be at or below 1500 CP to enter, and only Pokemon caught during the Season of Light are allowed. Pokemon must be caught between September 1st and November 30th. Ooh, how does Malamar play in Willpower? With a little bit of each type as far as moveset and being a Psychic Dark.
It still loses to the other dark.
Okay. Interesting.
If it doesn't get superpower off.
Right. Huh.
I think Sableye still beats it.
Nah, Incineroar's not going to play very well. No, it does get double kick, so that might be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Eee. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff there.
I still think it'll be overshadowed by the original core metas of Sableye and Medi.
Unless they ban them. We'll have to wait and see. For nice little better-ish graphics here by G47IX and Go Stadium. Infographic if you're watching a visual consuming this podcast in a visual medium. Let me get my terminology correct
You mean
here.
audio medium?
No, this is visual.
Right, but if they're not seeing the visual.
If they're not, then yeah, I'm saying there is a infographic here if you are consuming the podcast visually.
Okay.
Yes. Did I stutter?
No. I
Okay.
misinterpreted what you were. I thought you were saying, "Hey, if you're a listener of the podcast, you know how normally people listen to it. Here's a visual reference."
Generally, yes, but as I've said before, I'm weird. Most of the podcasts I consume via YouTube with YouTube Premium, so I can just they're making a visual gag or they have something on screen. Turn on my phone, open up the YouTube app as it's playing, and be like, "Oh, there it is." So. But I'm also a weird, I guess weird for having YouTube Premium because apparently not a whole lot of people have YouTube Premium, even though it's fantastic. So
why YouTube Premium when you can have ad block?
Because YouTube Premium ad block prevents ads being served to you, which means the creators don't get any AdSense from it. YouTube Premium removes those ads and gives more money to the creators.
But one's free.
Yes, but the other one comes with YouTube Music, which is solid, but also could be better. Sure, if you want to be that guy. Okay. Be that guy. Oh, if you want to be the contrarian. Balance changes and move updates for the Season of Light. Prepare yourselves. Sorry, I peeked there a little bit. Zap Cannon, no longer guaranteed to lower enemy attack. I want to say it goes from 100% to a 66% chance of debuff, which is still pretty solid. So, Icicle Spear, energy cost increased. This affects wall rain and wall rain only, and it doesn't affect it like...
Have you seen some of the glorious memes?
Maybe.
There's one with Registeel, and it says, "Grab my arm, brother," and Walreign's falling.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to grab Reggie's arm, and then Niantic comes and does the board to the face.
Pushes him underwater more?
Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of cursed. Yeah, this affects Walrein and Walrein only. It's a pretty minimal buff that does push it down from its pedestal, but Walrein's not.
Let's put it this way. It dropped from spot 2 to 70 in Open GBL.
But it's still pretty good.
Eh.
Where is Lapras on that list? Is it still a better Lapras? Because I'll consider that a win.
I'll check, because that's actually a good point.
Lapras and Dugong. Tell me where. I mean,
I
Dugong's
think
probably
stay where
still
it was.
higher because it's got Icy Wind with
Yeah.
a guaranteed debuff. Things that need nerfs
The thing
above
that has a
Ice.
legacy move? No.
Yeah. Rollout energy generation decreased. That would have only affected
Golem.
Alolan Golem. Alolan? Yes, I think. Wooloo.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Open Great League. Let me
Uh-huh.
refresh this page first.
Okay.
Make sure it's up to date.
Tell me more.
I'm going to search by ice type.
Yes.
Walrein is 64,
Uh-huh.
while Shadow Walrein is 102.
Wow, that's rough, buddy.
Dugong is 123.
It's above Dugong.
Lapras is 133, and Shadow Lapras is 150.
Yes, still king of the water ices. Everyone else, Walrein, to take the tiny little consolation prize
Is
trophy.
he the one with the comic strip where it's the guy at the third podium with the bottle?
No. It's like the fifth podium. He's like cracking the got the metal between his teeth, spraying the champagne, and like 1 through 3 are like, dude, what are you doing? But realistically, everyone else, like 1, 2, 3 is like top of the meta, not the rest of the water ices, because the rest of the water ices are all like, oh, this kind of sucks still.
I think it's more of a shift in other moves that we're going to talk here, that ices have fallen even farther. Ice to begin with has never been a strong type.
Except for Walrein. But I think that's because Walrein was a water type as well. If
Exactly.
it was a straight ice type,
I mean, Gen 1, Walrein was, or not Gen 1 Lapras was the best ice type.
yes. I don't
Maybe
think there was
bar Dugong, but
yeah, because there really wasn't a whole lot of other ice types. There was
No.
that Articuno and
Clayster and Jinx.
did Clayster have ice type in the first gen?
Yeah.
Wow.
Shelter was actually one of the first ones to be water ice. Because I think Seal was just water.
Yes. Wait, Clayster was water ice?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it is. Let me do a quick search here. Cloyster, and I don't have one. I have Shelter. Or no, I have Cloyster. I don't have Shelter. I'm confused. I thought
You were thinking reverse.
I was thinking Shelter was also water ice. So I'm a goober.
But yes, rollout did get nerfed. Really only was just like a to Alolan Golem.
An to Alolan Golem kind of stinks because it was like kind of balling, but
Volt Switch still helps it better.
Volt Switch helps it more. I think it's still the preferred move now. Though if you're wanting a rock type attacker, still pretty solid.
Yeah.
So, I think in more niche metas, it's really going to play back and forth as far as what you want to use there.
But the two biggest benefactors of that update were the PTSD-inducing Miltank from Gen 2 was Whitney.
We'll get attack availability updates in a moment. Ancient Power, I think, got buffed as far as damage. and then the attack and defense increase amount was lowered. So rather than 2 stages of an attack and defense buffs, it is a single
chance
stages.
of those.
Still like 10%. It's a 10% chance. The damage is now higher, and the buffs are only 1 stages rather than 2 stages. So it's a
Right.
less. It's because in the past, something like Togekiss, if it got the buff from Ancient Power,
It was
the charms were off the charts. So now it's a little less. Also, I imagine the Ancient Power's nerf is also because of Galarian birds each having Ancient Power as well, and that might make them with future move changes gross.
Like Zapdos right now. If it had that with counter, yeah.
It does though.
No, I'm saying if it had the double buff.
Oh yeah. If it had the double buff. Oh.
But again, that's still only a 10%. In the long-term effect of things, this helps things that have Ancient Power because it becomes a little bit better of a rock type move. But I think a lot of them really wanted just that. It's a good stall move, and it was a thing that had a chance to play chaos in a match.
It had chance to. You had a very tiny chance to clutch matches.
Yeah.
And you don't.
And I think in competitive, that's one thing they wanted to take away was just odd, random chances of just sweeping a game.
They wanted to tone that down just a tiny bit. Ominous Wind. Attack and defense increase amount lowered. So
Same thing as Ancient Power.
Yes. Because I guess it was 2 stage.
Yep.
This phrases it weirdly, and I'm not quite sure. I never saw, so in a later move here is Silverwind now has 60 power, which I think it had less.
Correct.
And the attack and defense increase amount lowered as well. Not the chance, but the
amount.
The amount. Silverwind and Ominous Wind never moved the needle to begin with. I don't think there was a single Pokemon except for what's one of my favorite bug types?
Vespiquen? Oh, Masquerain?
Masquerain. That was its only moveset, and it was bad. So
And then it got Lunge.
And then it got Lunge, yes. But, I don't think Ominous Wind and Silverwind needed nerfs.
I think it was more along the lines of, we were just discussing, it basically flipped the match, if it did happen.
Yeah.
And I think that just alleviates that uncontrollable factor that, I can just win now because I got this.
Yeah, they were already bad, and now they're worse. So,
like I said, I think it's more to moderate skill issue, if you will.
Yeah. Quick Attack and Tackle both got increases to their energy generations. You have no idea how big this is.
Made a lot more.
You think it's big. It's bigger.
I don't know if I'd say it's that much bigger. It's making a difference in other leagues, which is something we've needed for a while.
It's making a difference on Pokemon that you would never would have guessed.
The Sword Trio is one example.
Well, the Sword Trio got Double Kick.
They also have Quick Attack.
Staraptor, Shadow Staraptor with Quick Attack, which sounds ridiculous, but somebody was playing with it, and it's pretty gross. It was nuking people. It was either Quick Attack or Tackle. I think it was Quick Attack.
Quick Attack sounds right.
What was the other thing somebody was running with?
Goddess Enhoff.
Maybe?
And Victini.
Victini shows up in Psychic Cup, and we'll get to it, with Quick Attack, and it's gross. It's gross. Remember that normal types are only resisted by Steel.
And Ghost. And Fighting.
What? No, I don't think they're resisted by Fighting. I don't think they are.
I'll prove it.
Bring up the type charts. They are. Ghost is immune, technically speaking, within
Double
the Pokemon.
resistance.
Quad resistance or what have you.
Right.
More or less, don't even try it. But Psychic Cup doesn't have ghosts in it. It has some steals, but not a whole lot. I want to say it's neutral because Fighting on Fighting is also neutral. It doesn't resist itself. And normal types are just what's the Japanese name for it? Regular?
Yeah.
Like it is bog standard. Just bland. Quick attack and tackle are on like a lot of things. So if I go here and I go actually I'm going to go to what I have tagged for Great League, and I'm going to search at tackle.
Nope, you're right. Fighting resists rock, dark, and bug. Ghost is the only thing that resists normal. And steel.
Ghost and steel. That's what I thought. If you want a normal type attacker, look no further than Munchlax. It has tackle.
Yep,
wow, I don't have like anything powered up here. Litleo, if you don't want to use Ember, tackle. It's on some weird stuff. Let's try quick attack.
It's a lot more on Little Cup stuff.
Yes.
A lot of the pre-evolutions
Vulpix, I believe, has either quick attack or
quick attack.
Tackle. And it was already kind of a staple in some of the quick attack is on. Is it on? It's not on all of the. Interesting. It's on Leafeon. And is it on all of the evolutions? Or is it just on Eevee and Leafeon? Because that's all that's showing up here. And maybe I have it wrong. Maybe it's only showing up on things that I have it on.
Espeon can't learn it.
Okay, so maybe it is only on Leafeon and
Umbreon can't learn it.
Interesting. Congratulations, Leafeon. You are now more diverse than other.
Let me check Glaceon.
Okay.
No, it is Leafeon. Leafeon is the only one that can learn it.
Leafeon and Eevee.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, there's some Pokemon that can learn it that put them in an interesting spot, to say the least. So yeah, don't sleep on quick attack and tackle. Availability updates. So we have. Do we have any other new move besides? We have 2 new moves, which we'll get to at the very end. Nidorina. You know that
Pre-Queen,
the one you have to have purified to have return for it to nuke. It learns Thunderbolt now, which helps it beat the flyers. That.
I mean, it's a very good tool against Skarmory.
Yes, it's its only tool against Skarmory, more or less. Nidorino, the pre-king, learns Ice Beam, which helps it beat
Flyers
and ground, which are the other Nidos. Have fun with that one. It also needs to be. Both of them need to be at level 50.
I think it's closer to. No, you're right. It's 50.
Like 49.5 in some stat products. I guess the benefit is they're technically 2 different species, because Gen 1 didn't do branching evolutions quite like that.
No gender-based evolutions.
Yes, so it's 2 different species with 2 different candy pools. So maybe you have enough candy for one of each.
I mean, they've been around for 6 years.
Oh, a long time.
And for us, it's soon to be a normal biome spawn here.
Just about. Jesse's favorite, Tentacruel, learns Scald.
Finally.
A faster water type move, which it's been desperately needing. Speaking of faster water type moves that it's desperately been needing, Lantern learns Surf.
It has been making waves. Pun intended.
Huh.
You're not running Spark. You're not running Water Gun. You're running Charge Beam.
For faster energy generation. And then you're spamming. Have fun with that one. Sounds good. I haven't had an opportunity to give it a shot yet.
Oh my gosh. You don't even have to run Thunderbolt. You can run Thunder just to catch people out.
Just a nuke? Nice.
They're just like, it's a Thunderbolt. Zap, I'm dead.
Nihiligo learns Poison Jab. 'Cause
which it needed when it came out.
yes, I mean, it's a raider. It's a raid attacker, so
It's actually really good in Ultra and Master.
Yeah.
The rock poison's a unique typing.
Mm-hmm.
But again, ground dominates those upper metas, so have fun.
Yep. Body slam on Dragonair. There was a point in time where Dragonair was relevant with frustration and or return. Now it doesn't matter. Give it body slam.
Yeah,
So.
you can even do that on a shadow and make it even more effective.
Yes.
What was it we were saying on, I think it was the B-SAD, it's the new Xylius?
Yes, without the dark type, meaning it's more versatile.
Especially with Aquatail.
Yes. Yes. Aqua Tail body slam with Dragon Breath. Woohoo! Boy.
Regular or diet version? With Dragonair, regular or shadow?
Oh.
Pick your choice.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting a weather warning. It's not that hot though. That's weird. Thanks Pokemon Go for looking out for me. Haunter learns Ice Punch. I've tried that, and it's mileage may vary. Actually, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's in you're running it in the front, and it's used as a shield martyr.
It's not as fast as I'd like it, but
if you catch that Altaria,
sure, yes. As far as Haunter, I want it to be real quick, and it's not quite there. Shadow Punch is still faster to get to.
True.
But is that right? Rock Slide on Irrelevant. Sorry. Superpower on Dragonite.
That has been catching me off.
Really? Don't forget.
Well, no, I've seen Dragonite, Shadow Dragonite leads in Great League.
Uh-huh.
I was like, crap. I have to call between a bait or a nuke.
Yeah. That was going to be a community move for Dragonite. Not anymore. So, you know.
That's good across every league.
Usable across every league. I don't know overall performance within Great League is kind of okay.
With how Walreign's dropped off and not many people use it.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true.
With all the Stunfisk and Reggie running around.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Having superpower in the back. Yeah. Just a little back pocket and just be like, loss. It's just having it. Just
Here's
having
your L.
Having a spare L in your back pocket and just be like, here, have this. Incinerate on Relevant. Sorry. Dynamic Punch on. I'm sorry. What? Okay. I kid. So Rock Slide is on Cantonian Marowak. So a rock move on a ground type Pokemon that doesn't perform.
It did need that move for coverage because it only had ground.
But it doesn't have much shot.
No, which holds it back.
Holds it back a lot. So we could see a move rework there. We could see
an event where you allow it to evolve into either.
Yes, we could see something where Cantonian Marowak does get an additional move. Does it already have Bone Club?
Yes.
So it already has Bone Club.
So the ideal moveset was Mud Slap, which is the worst one.
Yes.
Return and Bone Club.
Was before. It's now Rock Slide?
I haven't checked yet, but I would imagine Rock Slide gives it more utility against
Flyers
and things that it could hit with Rock Slide.
Yep. Incinerate is on Camerupt. Camerupt was it's okay.
I mean, once it gets the Mega, it's a Fire type Mega with Incinerate.
It gets a Mega?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Neat. I don't know if that moves the needle as far as a Fire type raid attacker, but you know. Dynamic Punch on Lady In, so Ladybuzz evolution. If you forgot that,
I know there's some people out there. I believe like that things cats can't eat is one of our Lady In enthusiasts.
Yep.
Speaking of things that cats can't eat, if you're listening, I want to know what you think of the rework for Quick Attack on your boy Furret.
Oh. Also, hi, thanks, cats can't eat. It's been a while.
The last three don't really make waves.
Yes. Lady In with Dynamic Punch is kind of odd.
Yeah, because it takes a minute to get there. If Ledian gets something for faster energy move generation, then I could see potentially being useful.
Mm-hmm.
The trade-off is Ledian is maxed. That is level 40, I believe.
Yes.
If not higher. So it does offer some bulk. It's a bug flying with a fighting move.
Yeah, it's not ideal, really, like at all. So,
I mean, I honestly would have been maybe more impressed if they gave it something like Thunder Punch.
I don't know if it learns it in the main series games.
It learns punches.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it gets another move adjustment. Rollout is now available on Dunsparce and Miltank. Miltank being the marquee. It's got a great moveset of what is it? Ice Beam,
Ice
Thunder.
Beam or Thunderbolt.
Uh-huh.
And then Body Slam.
Yeah. So it's great. Also trigger anyone that played the red and blue back in the day. Or no, sorry, gold and silver. And crystal. And faced Whitney. And had a hard time. Maybe paralyze somebody for a moment or two as you send out a rollout Miltank. Not me though. I didn't when I played Soul Silver, I don't think I had a single problem with Whitney. So yeah. And Dunsparce it's okay.
It's fun.
It's okay. Way to go, Scrublord Dustin. One of your favorite Pokemons is now
Relevant.
a little bit better. Yeah. Shadow Claw on Glossopod, which is cool, I guess. It has big claws, so that, yeah.
It fits. It checks out.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Glossopod's the signature Pokemon for Guzmas, which is the feature here for this season, so neat.
Glossopod, a worse Araquanid.
Well, less functioning. Because Arachnid has debuffs.
Let's not disagree. Amazing design.
Looks awesome. It's a great looking Pokemon. And Shadow Claw is on
Runegagus.
No, Runeregis.
Runegagus.
It's not a Gigas.
It is too. Cophagrigus. Runegrigus. While he's looking it up.
Runeregis.
Okay.
Runeregis.
Runeregis, okay.
Runeregis. Runerigus. Runeregis.
Doesn't help Glossopod with the Shadow Claw, but Runegigus.
Runeregis. There's 2 R's. Runeregis.
Serpent Coffin Pokemon.
Yeah.
Is a ground and ghost type and does perform fairly well. It is definitely becoming a popular answer to things like Nidoqueen.
Mm-hmm. Is it ground or is it rock?
It's ground ghost.
Okay.
Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, and I believe Earthquake.
Yeah, ground ghost. Yeah, it sounds right. This is the main series games. That does not help.
Or no, it's got Sand Tomb.
Ooh, nice. A little bit of debuffing. And Psychic Fangs, that move that was exclusive to Luxray. Because it's a community day.
Okay, so the one we were just talking about.
Runeregis.
Sand Tomb, Rock Tomb, Shadow Ball. Charge moves.
Neat. It's pretty solid. Nice. Psychic Fangs is now on Arcanine. Cool. Helpful, I guess, because it's got
Cantonian Arcanine.
Cantonian Arcanine. Correct. Thank you. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. I'm getting a little bit of indigestion. We're just going to deal with that. Going to power through. Espeon. Cool, I guess. Debuffs.
Yeah, it helps Confusions hit harder.
Yep. Might be an interesting play within Willpower Cup. Maybe. Giraffrig also gets Psychic Fangs.
That
Neat.
does make it a little bit more aggressive because it also has Crunch.
Yes. You want to know what else has Crunch? Steelix. Steelix, the Jaw Pokemon. I imagine it's the Iron Jaw Pokemon. Steelix now has Psychic Fangs along with Crunch and Bite. And
It doesn't have Bite.
Dragon Tail. It doesn't? I thought it did.
Thunderfang.
Oh, Thunderfang.
And then Iron Tail.
in Iron Tail, but primarily Dragon Tail. And 2 bite moves that can debuff in Crunch and Psychic Fangs. It's fun. I've played it. Trust me. Don't sleep on it and be careful. Manetric.
Why are you here?
Who cares? I'm sorry. You have a mega, then that's all that. Good for you. Swoobat. Also, Woobat's evolution. Because Woobat has an evolution. Don't forget.
It's an interesting choice. It's Confusion or Air Slash.
Uh-huh.
And then Psychic Fangs and I believe Shadow Ball.
I think Aerial Ace. I don't know if it has. No, I evolved it. Give me 1 second. I put one as my buddy specifically for this one person. Aerial Ace. I'm going to give it a second attack. Just because it's a 10,000 dust cost. That's not all that much. Psychic.
Future
These
Sight and
items.
Psychic Fangs.
Are you looking it up right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so future. So you're looking at Aerial. Honestly, Aerial Ace and Psychic Fangs. That's pretty quick.
Yeah, because Confusion does whatever the other one would do.
Yeah, solid. 2 new moves, fast moves. More or less Vine Whip clones.
Yep.
I think on both cases, plus or minus a tiny bit. Double Kick, a fighting type move, can be learned by Nidoking, Incineroar, Lopunny. Hey, Lopunny's fighting mega is actually relevant now because low sweep is terrible. Hitmonlee.
Needs Blaze Kick.
It needs a better charge move, yes. Girafarig. What? Okay.
Double Kick Psychic Fangs.
Okay. And Dubwool, because Dubwool is a Pokemon that's in the game that I have not heard anything about
Since it came out.
Since it came out. You might have forgotten that it came out in the game. They did do a little Galar event, and Dubwool is part of it.
So I actually play tested some with Dubwool. It is cheeky.
Okay.
Because it's hit and miss if people remember that it gets Wild Charge.
Mm.
And also has Body Slam. So it's Double Kick, Wild Charge, Body Slam. But it's just so funny because you see that lead Swampert and they're like, oh, I'll be fine. I don't need a shield. This is Dubwool. Body Slam, Body Slam, Body Slam, Body Slam.
Yeah. And then the long-awaited second fairy type fast move, Fairy Wind. We have Galarian Rapidash, Galarian Weezing,
My boy.
Jumpluff, Mawile, Slurmpuff, and Florges. Florges, the flower.
It's gorgeous. It's Florges.
The fairy type. Galarian Rapidash, I think, still needs a little bit of adjustment on its charge moves, but this definitely gives it a big boost because before I think it just had
Psycho Cut.
Oh, it didn't even have Confusion?
Nope.
Nice.
It basically changes it from, do you want it to be a psychic fast move user or do you want it to be a very fast move user?
Which it has both types, so good for it. Galarian Weezing already got a buff to Tackle because that's all it had before, and Tackle now gains more energy. So you could keep running at Tackle. Probably should run it Fairy Wind instead.
I've seen quite a few in my last couple of sets of GBL. You have to play a guessing game with it. It's either Overheat or it's Play Rough or it's Sludge Bomb.
Interesting.
And nothing wants to get hit by those in the back.
Yes. Jumpluff gives it an interesting with acrobatics.
This one I actually have been playing a lot with. I have 2 teams I've been running, and this has been part of Team 2. I run it as lead, and it's a shield martyr. You can run acrobatics. You can run energy ball. Most things in the front don't want to get hit by either.
Okay.
And if you're running the regular Jumpluff, it will survive 1.5 potentially Mega Gem meta ice punches.
Oh, huh. Mawile. This gives Mawile a little bit more play.
It makes its charge moves a lot more aggressive.
It had Ice and Fire Fang previously.
Yep. And usually you ran those with Power Up Punch. And then if you have return on a Purified, you could do that. Or you could hit them with the Play Rough. But now I'm seeing a lot of them run Fairy Wind, Play Rough, Ironhead. Ironhead is going to be neutral to most things, but it also is it's a fairy that's an anti-fairy with Ironhead.
Slurm Puff is a thing, I guess. Okay. And Florgus also is kind of a thing.
Slurm Puff is another one that you have to, like Weezing, you have to respect its charge moves because it can get to Flamethrower or Energy Ball really quick.
The things that aren't on this list that got added, and I'm kind of surprised we haven't gotten any information as far as if it was a bug or by design, because they didn't put it in any of the other information. The Swords of Justice got double kick because they're all fighting types. So Terrakion, I think, is the big winner. I think
it's Virizion.
The grass fighting?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been seeing a lot more people excited about Terrakion.
Have they? Okay.
Yes. As a fighting rock. Cool, I guess.
I mean, of those two definitely benefit from their typing the most. Unfortunately, Cabalion's just another Lucario.
Yes, but doesn't Cobalion have...
They all have Sacred Sword.
Okay, which is a
fighting
version of Body Slam.
Yep.
With double kick. It's all gross.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for Ultra and Master League to come around and for people to just
basically
be unhappy.
Your core moves for all three are double kick, Sacred Sword, and then Leaf Blade, Rock Slide, Ironhead.
Oh, hit me with that Leaf Blade. That's a sick moveset. Sorry, Breloom and any other fighting grass type
Chestnut.
Pokemon.
Here's a bird.
Here's a bird. Not going to be relevant. This is too good. Unless Chestnut gets double kick, which it might, because it doesn't have counter to my knowledge.
It does not.
So it's running Focus Blast, I think.
For Fast News, it's Smackdown or Vine Whip. And then Superpower, or no, Close Combat.
Right.
Energy Ball. Don't remember the third one. But
Some other, I think, nuke grass move. So, it's better PvE than Shadow Machamp now. Ooh, fascinating. I mean, because Terrakion was one of the better rock type attackers
for a good time,
for a good while, and with double kick and Sacred Sword, yeah, that would check out as far as it being a better fighting type attacker now too. So.
It was also built more aggressively. While the other two, I think Virizion was based off speed and Cobalion was based off of... Maybe it was defense. Because it's the steel typing gives it the boost to the defense.
I never caught one. Has it come out yet?
Which one?
Cobalion?
Oh, yeah. They've all been out. Twice.
I don't think I caught one. Let me double check my Pokedex here. One quick other thing before we move on to a
December of last year. And did I say December? November.
Okay.
November of last year and November of 2019.
It was Kalos, right? Or no, it was Black and White. So it was Unova.
Yep.
I guess I did, and I don't have any left. Unless I'm spelling it.
Cobb.
K-O-B?
C-O-B.
C-O-B. That might be why.
Cobalt.
Cobalion. I do have them. 1, 2 beneath Ultra League. One of them definitely better for Ultra League. Zen Headbutt and Sacred Sword. It's been a while since I've second moved Legendary. That looks gross. Yeah, fascinating. This is the biggest move update we've ever gotten, I believe.
Yeah.
Period. Bar none.
Introducing counter.
This is I think we're still kind of figuring it out. We'll have to wait for another 2. 2 weeks?
When's the first competitive?
2-ish weeks, I think.
And that's where.
Baltimore. I
So
believe.
then we should see a good new meta forming around that update.
With Walrein lessened, fighting and fairy kind of adjusted here.
I can tell you right now.
Things like Lantern now get a big ol'. They weren't really getting used before, but
Who
they're
was
going to
it?
start
Somebody
getting
made a
used
fun
now.
little graphic today. It's Bastion, Altaria, Lantern is the core meta.
Oh, that's really chunky and going to be really gross. So we'll see what else plays around it.
But it's funny because they drew a picture of Bastion and then a picture of Bastion with Altaria wings.
Oh, I saw that.
A picture of Bastion with Lantern's flippers.
Yep. I did see that. Yeah, that's kind of cursed. Yeah, I'm curious to see overall where the play is. I think teams within the first couple of months might be a little bit more flexible.
Yeah, there's a lot more variety. I would say if there's ever a time to try something that you think might sound fun, this is the time to do it.
Mm-hmm. Dragonair with Body Slam sounds fun to me. I did try both Hunter and Steelix on one team, which plays well-ish, except if you run into a fighter, because I was running Vigo as my third, and that's not a good idea. Very squishy to fighters, which means Metacham is probably more reasonable in the back. I have not played with that yet.
So the teams that have gotten me to where I'm at right now
Mm-hmm.
are Jumpluff, Lantern, Diggersby. It's a pretty fun core. The only thing I had trouble with was in the same with my other team, if I didn't have the answer to what they have, if I lost my lead, which was my answer to what they have in the back, I just ended up losing.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jumpluff in the lead, I saw a bunch of Swampert. I was seeing a bunch of Sableye, and there was another one. What was it? Swampert, Sableye, and Trev. And Trev really only hurts me if it gets to Shadow Ball, but you can get to Acrobatics fairly quick, and it one-shots Trev.
Okay.
The other team that I've been running, I would say probably 70 to 80% of the time, is Empoleon, Venusaur, Wigglytuff. Empoleon is the lead. Venusaur and Wigglytuff are the answers to swaps out. If I lose that lead, I just have to hope that whatever they have in the back, I didn't need Empoleon for, because that's my lose con. If I can't answer something in the I think fire is my biggest threat, but fire is also one of the lowest things we see outside of Talonflame.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't get the advantage on Talonflame, I lose hard because Empoleon was in the front. I believe the same goes with something like Bastiodon if it has energy, because Wigglytuff doesn't do anything to Bastiodon, but Flamethrower will still hit Empoleon and Venusaur.
Right. So one tiny little thing. We're gonna probably speed through some of the Psychic Cup talk. But Clefairy as the final little bit of news things. Saturday, September 10th in the evening, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Clefairy will be spawning more frequently in the wild. So like a community day, but in the evening.
From 6 to 9.
6 to 9. Take that as you will. The holy numbers. Local time. We can't wait to see what you can find by the light of the moon. This might be one of the events where we get like the nebula background, because they were talking about that for the Season of Light. Hi, Spoink. You might be really good. You do evolve above Great League, so that's a disappointment. No new move. I think Shiny might be a higher chance, I guess. A lot of the other Pokemon games and Pokemon social medias are hyping up Clefairy.
I think it's more so for the... Would this be the summer solstice?
It's the Harvest Moon.
Harvest Moon, okay. That's a great game.
I haven't played them.
Another fun fact is Clefairy Shiny is not like a few other ones. If you blink, you'll miss it. It has green ear tips. That's the only difference.
Mm-hmm. Righty. Let's do a quick little jumpy into a meta-analysis. And we're going to talk about Psychic Cup, which is all psychic Pokemon except for Mew. Hey, do you guys still have a Victini that's under Great League? If not, I'm sorry. Because it's really good. It's like really good. It's got Tackle.
Where are they placing it?
Or Quick Attack. Number 1.
Of course they are.
Quick Attack, V-Create, and Overheat. So
creates a fire move, right?
V-Create, Fire Move. Self-Debuff Spam is what...
PV Poke has it listed as?
Yeah, PV Poke has V-Create as self-debuff Spam. Overheat has self-debuff Nuke. It does have Psychic and Focus Blast as well.
Running it double fire is probably just because the other two moves are resisted.
Yes. It also has Confusion over Quick Attack, which, again, isn't great here. The downsides are there are going to be... It does win against Bronzong with the Fire-type moves. It does lose to Claydol. It also loses hard to Raichu. And why that is, I don't really
Wild
know.
Charge bait.
Yeah,
Thunder
that makes
Punch to
sense.
Wild Charge.
Plus,
Plus, it's also not bulky.
yeah. Slowbro Shadow, which I forgot Slowbro is the Psychic Water. Have fun. Yeah. Jimishim wants to go back to Registeel. I miss what you said about it, but I don't feel the nerf to Reggie was enough. It wasn't a lot. Yeah. It doesn't debuff the attack damage. The only thing is Reggie's not the only thing with Zap Cannon. And Zap Cannon getting a reduction in chance as far as the nerf doesn't make it... It doesn't punish it drastically. It doesn't make Registeel as what's the right phrasing for it? Obtrusive, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Its limited availability is, I think, what makes most people upset.
Yes, that I think doesn't help it at all. Zap Cannon doesn't help. It helps it like as a neutral damage move. A ton. Just because it has a great neutral weapon to fighters, that absolutely annihilate it. So like could they have nerfed Zap Cannon more and made Registeel even less dominant? Yes. Do I think that they needed to do it? No, I don't think they did. Registeel was pretty common within the Play Pokemon competitive circuit from what I saw, but it wasn't on every team. So
it was pretty close though.
It was I mean again, it was common, but it wasn't on every single team.
The Steel type was either Registeel or it was G-Fisk.
Yes.
There were one or two teams that did make it to top 8 that didn't even have a Steel. So Steel types aren't the best, but they're one of the better answers. If you didn't have a Steel, then you had a Nidoqueen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because those are your answers to Charmers.
Yeah. It becomes less oppressive, which I think is important. I also wonder what we're going to see in the future as far as move rebalances, because there's a couple of Pokemon that get tiny adjustments that don't move the needle that a future update will definitely change.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we're not going to get, we've been saying it for years. I'd love a fire type rework so that something like Registeel
Yeah, and
gets
I think
a
that's
little
the
bit less.
big thing, is that fire types just can't thrive right now.
Yeah, and
They need something for longevity.
yes. So ground types are better. Water types are everywhere. You just need to make fire types. There either has to be a better performing fire type,
I
or
think
fire
the
types in general have
overall-
to be stepped up.
The overall best performing fire type right now is Shadow Ninetales.
Yes, as far as consistency goes, because Talonflame was very good for a hot second. But
But then
think
people realized, oh, there's a Talonflame on their team. That's where all their shields are going to go.
Yeah, I think it's the Talonflame play has been figured out.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, if you can support
GBL,
it with enough bulk and surrounded, then Talonflame, I'd say, probably ties at the highest contestant for best fire type.
which Zap Cannon is a
Yeah, Zap Cannon says, haha.
against Talonflame, and maybe that's why you just don't see Talonflame versus.
Well, Talonflame's also not around because Swamperd's still around.
Yeah.
There's plenty of things like Stunfisk that will one-shot it with Rock Slide.
Sure, but you also have, then why is Ninetales around? Other than it being, a little bit bulkier, its damage output I think is more consistent, but it's not as high.
Right.
So,
I think it's just the Weather Ball. Shadow Weather Ball is good enough to bring something from 60 to 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing here with Victini also in the Psychic Cup is it's a fire type that has access to fire type moves really quick and puts immediate pressure.
There's not a whole lot of psychic water that perform overtly, which allows Victini to perform.
Yeah.
Both in spam, in neutral spam.
How does it perform against Lunatone and Solrock?
I think it's more of how do Lunatone and Solrock perform in this meta in general. Lunatone's 19, Rock Throw, Rock Slide, Moonblast.
Yeah, that's getting rid of Victini.
And Solrock's 22, Rock Throw, Rock Slide, Solar Beam.
There's your answer to Victini because they resist the quick attack and the fire moves.
Mm-hmm. They don't resist. Does Rock
resists normal?
Okay, so Rock, Steel,
Ghost.
Which
I think Psychic Ghost is just Hoopa right now.
Yes. Let me search Ghost. Yep, Hoopa at 81. Astonish, Shadow Ball, Psychic. Because Confusion is hitting with not very effective against everything.
He's just spamming Astonish and Shadow Ball.
Yeah, and just dying slowly. Malamar's high up here. Bronzong is also high up here. Bronzong is running a dark type moveset. So Feint Attack and Payback with Heavy Slam.
That's gross.
Yeah. So it's Feint Attack, Payback as a suboptimal dark type moveset, but it kind of needs to have it.
It's
in a
double
psychic.
resisting all of the other Psychic.
Right, because Steel is resisting the Psychic as well. And then Heavy Slam as a general Steel type move.
With Stab.
Yep. It does have Bulldoze for other Bronzong, but energy requirement's higher.
But you can just nuke another Bronzong with Payback. It just becomes the Payback race.
There's also Malamar, Psycho Cut, and Peck. Run Psycho Cut.
Just for the energy generation.
Yeah. Foul Play. Does it recommend Foul Play? No, it recommends Hyper Beam. So, because Superpower is not doing anything, and neither is Psybeam. So,
Beam.
Probably one of the only instances you'll ever be like, oh wait, Malamar with Hyper Beam? Okay, because why not?
Because the only thing that's going to resist it will be Hoopa or Bronzong.
Yep. Gardevoir, Shadow, Charm, Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam. Because the psychic damage is insane. Claydol as a ground type to help beat out Victini and Bronzong. Mud Slap, Shadow Ball, Rock.
So one thing about Claydol, ground doesn't resist fire.
Right.
It's just super effective against it.
You're running Mud Slap, which is a
that's your
damage.
No Victini,
Yeah.
no Bronzong.
An interesting option.
The
here.
only Mud Boy option.
Yes, Ground Boy, not technically a Mud Boy. Closest thing to a Mug Boy you'll get in this meta, sure.
Yeah.
Galarian Rapidash rocking that Fairy Wind, Mega Horn, and Body Slam. Body Slam for the neutral damage, Mega Horn because it's super effective, but it does take a little while to get to. This is basically the meta of run things with suboptimal movesets, primarily. Though Alolan Raichu, you're running straight electric. I don't think you're normally running Hex on Galarian Slowking? No, because you'd be running Confusion usually. Hex, Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave, don't run Future Sight. Fascinating. That's pretty cool.
Raichu's just there because Volt Switch, Thunder Punch.
Yeah. Volt Switch, Thunder Punch, Wild Charge. Just hit it with damage.
Which gets hard walled by Claydol.
Yes. Apply the electricity to the forehead. Latios Shadow, Dragon Breath, wins against a lot of things. It's high ranked here, but it's you
Gets
gotta be
walled
careful.
by Bronzong.
Yes, you've got to be careful.
Latios goes burr, Bronzong goes zong.
Metacham's around, counter Ice Punch, Dynamic Punch. I guess.
Not running it Psycho Cut?
No. Probably because of Bronzong as
But if
neutral?
it gets a Dynamic Punch, it still hits.
Yeah. That's a weird one.
You know what's a really weird combo?
Hmm.
Psycho, Power Up Punch.
Psycho Cut Power Up Punch? I mean, I guess.
2 Power Up. You get, I think it's 4 Psycho Cuts to a Power Up Punch.
Oh, it's really quick. Yeah. I guess if you're feeling that way. Lunar Tone and Soul Rock, as we've said before, counters to resistances to Victini.
I think Claydol plays their role better, though.
Don't forget Delphox is within this meta too, but I don't think it performs. It's a discount Victini.
Yep.
Rank 40, Fire Spin, Flame Charge, Fire Blast. It does have Flame Charge, so that is just a flat out better move than V Create because V Create debuffs itself.
Right, but if you can just nuke with V Create,
I guess. I might
because it's closer to a Wild Charge clone than you think.
Okay. Meowstic Male, Sucker Punch, Thunderbolt, Energy Ball. Count that as Pokemon you wouldn't normally guess.
This might be a cup I skipped because I don't have a good Victini and I don't really feel like playing Victini Cup.
It's not necessarily about having a good one; it's just having one under Great League. Celebi's here too. Have fun. Jirachi's here too. Doom's Desire is the bane of my existence. It's also running Charge Beam rather than Confusion, so gross.
Goes burr.
Metagross is here. Bullet Punch, Meteor Mash, Earthquake as just straight up non-psychic damage.
It's just a steal.
It's basically like what can out neutral everything else in this meta, and a couple of Pokemon with Dark types. So it's starts tomorrow. So I don't know what usage looks like. I don't know if anyone has like the underdog Pokemon that's really gonna like come up and surprise everyone yet. No idea. We'll have to wait and see.
Slowbro sounds like that one with Water Gun.
Just default Slowbro? I don't think it. Oh yeah, rank 20. Water Gun, Ice Beam, Water Pulse.
Yeah.
Shadow is at rank 21. Same moveset. I guess so. Slowbro, Slow Poke.
That's gonna beat the Victini Mudboy core.
Mm-hmm. Slow King, Galarian Slow King, Hex, Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave, Slowbro. You could get away with running a slow team.
That's funny.
A full slow team.
And And they're spawning, so catch them.
Slow King, Slow Bro,
Slowpoke.
Slowpoke. But then you're running an XL, which is gross. And absolutely get wrecked when you encounter a Alolan Raichu, unless you... Yeah, actually, yeah, an Alolan Raichu,
You would
period.
just mess your
Just
team up.
have fun.
He's too
losing.
fast.
Have fun losing a lot. So yeah, we'll see. It honestly, it kind of depends on how the meta shakes out in your rankings as far as playing around with it. It is cool that we have this right after getting Malamar. I think that's
Good play.
maybe one of the reasons we got in K event of just be like, yeah, you know that thing that we released and like was kind of limited? Yeah, let's just give it to everybody. So neat.
Here's a tool. Use it.
Yep. Here's a pair of gross tentacles. Use it.
If you ever want a good laugh, look up the English dub for Malamar's voice.
Have you shown that to me?
I have.
I don't remember it. I guess I'm going to have to go watch that later. I think that's about it. We are sub 2 hours recording, which I need to find a way to shrink this down somehow. Do people like it when we do long podcasts? Do you prefer a shorter podcast? Let us know. That's maybe our community question for this next episode. Let me hit a split button. Community question. Last episode's community question was your predictions for each of the upcoming community day events. First person to correctly guess all 4 by September 6th or before. They announced the first one. They haven't announced the first one. You can still submit your answers. Maybe that's exactly why they haven't announced the community day.
Because they knew we were doing this.
They knew that we're placing a pizza bet. And they want people to put in their entries.
Kelsey jumps in server. Hey, yeah, here's my bets.
Yeah,
now this is the very next day.
Gets it 100%. You owe the Niantic community manager a pizza.
Hey,
that would be
awesome.
hilarious.
I'll buy him a pizza.
That is hilarious. That would be amazing.
Just no pineapple pizza.
Just announces it, timestamps an hour before the announcement. Should be like, they got us. They got us good. No, they get to order whatever they want on the pizza.
I will refuse to buy pineapple.
That's not...
That's in the text. Give me a minute. Don't screenshot it. No.
Nope. Shoot.
You better hurry. Where's the tag? Here it is.
Snipping tool. Try. New. Got it.
Dang it.
Yep, got it. All right, I've got it. August 29th, 2022. Take that, Jesse. This week's community question, what are your predictions for each of the upcoming community day events? First person who can correctly guess all 4 by September 6th or before they announce the first one will get a free whole pizza. You also don't say what size, so, man, that's on you.
I could buy him a child size.
That's gross.
I'm not that mean. I'll buy you an adult size pizza.
Jamar says, CD, Roggenrola, Litwick, Teddy Ursa with a classic for Dratini. He says, I'll take half a pizza if he gets half of it right. Winston the Champ says, Froakie, Alolan Grimer, and Timber with a classic of Swinub. Swinub was not one that I would have considered. Also, Dratini coming back with having
Superpower
Dragonite. That's kind of wrong.
That's one of the things we also discussed, I think, on the B-Side was Dragonite and Dragonair coming back with 2 new moves that make them somewhat relevant. It's a pretty big deal.
Yes.
For the Dratini
that's
line.
nothing to sneeze at.
And the fact that they gave us Superpower as a non-community day move just makes Dragonite so much more relevant in the future.
Yeah. It's also its community move is pretty bad, so
right. But it's not another legacy on Dragonite.
Right. It's not something you have to worry about using a
It's not a Charizard.
Yeah. Bowling Bacon says Grimer, Litwick, and Vulpix with a November classic of Mareep. I want to say it's October classic.
You had the graphic right there.
I did have the graphic right here where we are. Season of Light.
It's on the community question.
Look at that. Oh, it is in November. I will eat crow. Not mercrow though. Actual crow, legit crow. Because that's gross. I like the community classic of Mareep. If it's the season of Steven, we're getting Mareep. Vulpix is being part of this. Litwick is part of this, and Mareep is the community day classic. I don't remember what my guesses were, but
Top
it was
of the
part
cherry, they introduced Will-O-Wisp.
They introduced Will-O-Wisp for Vulpix. Both Vulpix and Chandelure get it. Golbat is the third community day.
There you go for October.
Mareep is the community day classic. Season of Steven complete. I will ascend to heaven at the end of the season. Cease to exist. Sorry, the Battle Science podcast will not continue. I have died.
I mean, I could always grab Bryce. That'll be a much more interesting show with all the background noise.
I'm with his familiar. Woof. Woof.
Which one of his three?
I mean, all three, maybe at once at some point. Jesse, you mentioned Teddiursa because the Hisuian special evolution Ursaluna, which fits way too well in this season.
Yeah, that was J-Mar's prediction.
That's right. Rock and Rolla, Litwick, Teddiursa with a classic of Dratini. And that's it. That's all we got. You too can go over to the Battle Science Discord and comment in the community question channel. It is open to everyone. There is no monetary requirements, no secret code you have to do to get into the Discord. Go down to the link that is in the description, click on it, go to the Battle Science Discord, say hello, and drop your responses as far as what you think the community days are going to be for this season, because we still don't know.
Watch them announce it tomorrow.
Sure. You know what? I'll take it. Let's just jinx it. Just hardcore.
Non-jinx community day. That's not what he meant.
That is not what I meant. You're correct. What did I say? The community question.
My thought was Chespin.
Oh, as far as
September's community day.
Oh, I see. I'm thinking of this episode's community question, and I kind of want to know. It's less Pokemon and more about the podcast. 'Cause I'm curious. Shorter podcasts, longer podcasts. What's your preference? Kind of want to know.
If we do a longer one, I think we would only do one.
No. Longer as in the 2 hours that we normally do.
Okay.
Or do you want it down into an hour? Do you want it squished? Because I can try and make it more concise. We can see what we can do.
Yeah. How much of us do you want to hear us rambling?
Yeah. Let us know. We'll post it in the Discord and do other stuff. We'll probably post it in the Discord, not in the community question, but in the podcast discussion, because it's more fitting there. We'll probably put it up on Twitter too, because like people listen to the podcast, but like less people are listening to it now, and it's probably because there's better PvP podcasts out there. Looking at you, Mad Cats, you guys are star-studded. There's some MVPs up there. But like just less people are listening, so kind of curious as to why. Is that because of the duration? Whatever. Right. I think that's everything. Thank you everybody for listening to the Battle Science Podcast, a Pokemon Go PvP podcast, where we talk about Pokemon Go through the lens of PvP. I've been one of your hosts, Steven, a.k.a. Boy in the Woods, joined as always by Jesse, a.k.a. Rocket Adam, and Jay. Why his eyeballs doing these weird things? Plurals?
The balls of the eyes?
With Z's.
Check us out on the socials.
At Battle_Science on Twitter. YouTube.com/C/Battle Science. If you want to check out the YouTube. By the way, as of this podcast recording, the TCG pack opening live stream is up on YouTube for everybody. Go watch it.
I pulled a lot of Tyrannitars.
You got a lot of Tyrannitars. Kind of impressive. We got some cool stuff. Hung out. You know, if you want to hang out later, you can do so. You can go over to twitch.tv/battlescience. Hit us a follow. Every 2 weeks, we do this Battle Science podcast, this thing you're listening to right now, every 2 weeks.
Live recording
On twitch.tv/battlescience. You can check it out as VOD there. You can check it out as VOD later on the YouTube channel. And you can listen to it on podcast services around the globe. If you are an audio listener, you can put it in your ear holes. Sounds weird. You're right. It does sound weird. But you can put us in your ear holes at any point in time. Internet connection willing. Pokemon Ultra Sun playthrough at some point. I don't know if I want to do just Ultra Sun or if I want to try to do GBL with only Pokemon featured in the Alola region at the same time. That sounds kind of a lot, but might give it a shot. We'll see. Yep, Jesse's making a face. That Pokedex is probably pretty limited, so but there's some interesting things in there. Just try some absolutely bonkers Zubat poop crazy. I tried. Zubat. Just some weird stuff. Yeah. And we'll catch you in 2 weeks for a Battle Science podcast after Community Day. So we'll let you know how
that went.
How September 18th went. I think after Baltimore too. So that's cool. That actually might even be this week. I don't know. So that's cool too. Play Pokemon season. Play Pokemon Go.
Here's Pokemon Baltimore Club music.
Whoa!
Wait,
no,
what?
No.
Club music.
That's not what I asked.
Thanks. That's a weird one. Way to go. Way to go, Google search. Yeah. Other stuff, things, cool stuff. We'll be back here in 2 weeks.
Have a good weekend.
We'll catch y'all out there in the battlefield.
Stay hydrated.